So we've talked a lot about loss from trading. Have you seen people lose like jobs within the crypto space? And like, do you have any tips for how to deal with that? I've seen like a lot of layoffs going on right now. Yes, I kind of wanted to cover like just like the job space too.
hmm Yeah, no, industry wide and even just broader worldwide, companies have had to make substantial layoffs. Um, and I think with something like that, you can take a very similar approach to, right, this whole idea of amor fati, of dealing with loss can stem to anything, whether it's losing money, whether it's losing your job, whether it's losing a loved one. Um, just not taking it as like, oh, I got fired, that must be because I suck at my job. Oh shit, how am I going to get my next paycheck? And sort of spiraling into that thought pattern, but of seeing, okay, I just got laid off. um what, like, getting a landscape for, okay, where am I at, where are my skills best fit, like, hey, maybe this actually was a forcing function to like really reconsider the exact role I want to be in. you know now that I'm no longer at this one company, now there's nearly, you know thousands that I could be at. So how awesome is that, that I now get to go pursue, my dream job. So I think it's all just a matter of perspective, and um, there's a lot of people in similar situations, right? So I think also getting in contact with others, kind of seeing.
Hey Jack, we actually just lost you again.
Sorry, can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now. So you said again, contact with others.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of people going through similar situations, right? And so I think there's a lot can
Hmm.
be learned from just surrounding yourself with, people in similar situations. Right. Tying it back to the hack, right? I had like dozens of people reaching out to me after saying like, "Hey, I lost a lot of money too. Like, yeah, this really sucks." Or I had a similar experience, and there's just something about, the beauty of like shared loss that can bring people together, but also provide a lot of like utility in figuring out what to do next. Kind of bouncing ideas of,
Right.
um, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is something I've found helpful, whether a, tweet thread someone sent me, or, an article, or, hey, here's a good job board, like whatever it may be. Um, you're not alone. I think it's just important to realize, even though in times like that of dealing with loss, it can feel very isolating.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so my journey through crypto has been very interesting. So I originally started trading back in college, and then it was going well until it wasn't going well, and then I started working full time in the space after quitting my job in banking in 2018. And I was working at a fund, and because the market was really bad, like after like 12 months of the fund closed down.
Hmm.
So then I was like, oh shit. So like now I left my banking job and this crypto fund that I joined closed down. What do I do now?
Hmm.
So I was unemployed for 2 years, like just trying to figure out what I wanted to do and just and I remember like this exactly is like I was really between do I want to go back to the corporate life or try to like um do something on my own. And there was one job that I really wanted. I had 7 rounds of um, calls with this team, interviews, and after the seventh one, they said that I didn't get the job, and I was just like, wow, this is a sign that I shouldn't be going for a corporate job.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I think it's like at that moment, like I could have taken it as like this is really bad, like I'm never gonna find a job, but instead it's like maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't be going for this type of
Hmm.
job.
Yeah, no. I think being able to see, the whether hidden or any type of like meaning in situations like that, right? Like, you can interpret it as a sign, or, just you're getting feedback around what you should be doing, um, and then can, yeah, respond sort of appropriately and think like, oh, okay, maybe I don't go pursue a corporate job, and look where you're at now. Now you're hanging out with cool crypto people online.
Yeah, exactly. Living the good life, right? Um, so yeah, this is a great conversation. If anyone has any questions, feel free to request to talk, and also you could leave a comment in the Twitter Spaces. But Jack, I'll kind of leave it to you to leave off with any closing thoughts that you might have, any tips for people, and just how people can keep in touch with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say if you're working in crypto, right, dealing with these very extreme highs and lows is an inevitability, right? If you stick around long enough, eventually you're going to make a lot of money. You'll probably lose some. There will be volatility, but I think if you can just learn to appreciate that, recognize that, hey, that's more exciting than a boring life. But just doing the things that you can in advance, so you're not just totally caught off guard, and kind of recognizing like, hey, this extreme example, right? Like kind of think through what would be like the worst case, and like sit with that, try to maybe plan out how you would respond. And if you can get to a point where it's like, all right, my life would not be over if the worst case happened, then anything that happens within that spectrum, you'll be able to deal with. Um, so yeah, I guess I'll leave with that. I mean, if anyone has any questions, wants to chat about anything they've been dealing with, or if you're interested in more about what we're doing at Messari, my DMs are open. So at jperd17, feel free to drop me a note. But yeah, really really appreciate having me on here.
Thanks, Jack. It was a great time talking. We'll have the call notes and the recording up on our newsletter in the next week. The link is in our bio. Again, thank you for coming on, and looking forward to having everyone on again soon.
Absolutely.